We now move to the presentation of our honorary degree, our honorary graduate. This is the highest accolade the university can present to an individual. We choose them very carefully. We're very thoughtful. It's a privilege to receive this, and it's a joy to give it. I now invite Sam Davies, who's the Director of Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement, to present Tony Bloom. Let's come stand.
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, family and friends, it is my honour to introduce Tony Bloom. When the university considers awarding honorary degrees, it seeks individuals who have not only pushed the boundaries of their field for the benefit of society more widely, but who also reflect the values that are important to us at Brighton: creativity, sustainability, partnership, and inclusivity. Today, we seek to honour such an individual. Tony Bloom is a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist. He is also well known locally as the chairman of Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club. He grew up in Brighton and was educated locally just along the coast at Lancing College. Tony remembers his lifelong passion for the seagulls taking hold from the age of 6 or 7, when he would go with his dad, brother, and granddad Harry, who was the vice chairman of the club. For Tony, the atmosphere in the ground was enticing, and he has seen over the years the strong bonds created with family and friends, all focused on supporting his local team. After a tough week, whether at home, work, or even school, the prospect of attending a home game was very special to him, even during the lean years, as Tony refers to the mid-1980s when the club was struggling. Tony has always loved supporting the team and has observed that as a sport, football can often be settled by fine margins, explaining why players and fans alike can celebrate so wildly when the ball goes into the net. Despite his long-standing devotion to the local team, Tony chose to move away when it came to studying at university, embarking on a degree in mathematics at the University of Manchester in the early 1990s. Mathematics has always been Tony's favourite subject, and therefore, unsurprisingly, the one he excelled at. Tony very much enjoyed his time at Manchester, both in terms of advancing his knowledge and capabilities in mathematics, but also in terms of his independence and the social side of the university experience. Tony's best friends are those he met whilst at university, and what he learned from his studies still informs his working life. After graduating, Tony began his working career with the accountancy firm Ernst & Young before moving into the city as a financial trader. From an early age, Tony had a keen personal interest in gambling and became a highly successful international poker player. This led him to pursue an interest in sports betting as part of a wider business portfolio, and he has also supported start-up businesses in several different sectors by providing seed capital through his own private equity interests. Tony's personal investment in Brighton and Hove Albion has enabled the club to develop its impressive stadium, which stands right next to our Falmer campus, as well as a state-of-the-art training centre at Lancing. The Albion's promotion to the English Premier League in 2017 was a major event and the cause of huge celebrations for the city. And it was to nobody's surprise that Tony, along with club manager Chris Houghton, were awarded the Freedom of the City. But Albion's success in gaining promotion and staying up in the Premier League after their first season has also brought major economic benefits to the area and helped to further boost the profile of our city. Away from his business interests, Tony is chair of the Bloom Foundation, his family charitable foundation. Alongside other charitable activities, the foundation supports community and educational initiatives in and around Brighton. These include the University of Brighton's Counting on Results initiative, which seeks to raise the levels of mathematical reasoning amongst young school pupils in 7 primary and junior schools in the area, a subject close to maths graduate Tony's heart. Tony is also a long-standing trustee of the Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis charity, which educates, supports and empowers people with MS in evidence-based lifestyle and medication choices that help to improve their health outcomes. In preparing for today, I asked Tony what he would like to share with those of you graduating. His message was simple: go for it. Although we live in challenging times, now is the time to follow your dreams. Be prepared to work hard and ensure you have no regrets in 30 or 40 years' time. So class of 2018, in line with Tony's advice, go for it. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, family and friends, in recognition of his impact on the community and major contribution to business in the city of Brighton and Hove, it is my honour to present Tony Bloom for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science of the University of Brighton.
Chair, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, friends and family. I am privileged to be here today and to have the opportunity to congratulate all the graduating students from the University of Brighton's School of Sports and Service Management, and also all those from the Hastings campus. Well done to you all. I wish you every success in your future careers. I'm also greatly honoured to be the recipient of a Doctor of Science degree from this university. To be recognised in this way in my hometown means a huge amount to me. As you may have gathered from Sam Davies' kind words, I am a sports fanatic. I love all sports, but I have a particular passion for football, and especially Brighton and Hove Albion. At university, I studied maths, and it was that mathematics that enabled me to develop an even more intense relationship with sport, and I'll come to that in a moment. First though, before I came here today, I was reading through the university's vision and strategy. In that, I noted a call for students and staff to be bold, and one sentence in particular caught my eye. We'll create the new, the radical and the exciting, with a strong focus on quality and improvement. Throughout my working life, I've always encouraged people to be positive, to think big, and to come up with ideas, however radical they may seem. It was Oscar Wilde who once said, "An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all." And there's a lot of truth in that. Indeed, it was such an idea that enabled me to combine my interests in mathematics and sport. I realised that applying mathematics and complex algorithms to sports, alongside various other subjective techniques, allowed me to assess the probability of sporting events more accurately than the markets. Naturally, this was a significant advantage when it came to betting on sport. And we use some of these same principles at Brighton and Hove Albion when it comes to player recruitment to assess players and their potential. As a businessman, particularly one known to have a strong focus on research and data, I'm often asked whether my purchase of Brighton and Hove Albion was a case of my heart ruling my head. The fact of the matter is that I was faced with a stark choice. Either I took over the football club and financed the building of the wonderful Amex Stadium and covering the operating losses of the club, or unfortunately, the club would be no more. And when I looked at it in those terms, it was an easy decision for me to make. Was it an emotional or a business decision? The truth is, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into, but if it wasn't for the emotion of Brighton and Hove Albion being my lifelong football club, I would not have considered it. There comes a time when you need to be bold, whether it is coming up with a big idea and believing in it, or being called to make a big decision and making that call. That decision to be bold is an easier one when you are young, with less to lose, and with so much energy and enthusiasm. The University of Brighton encourages its students to be bold, and I would echo that advice as you embark on your careers. Let me leave you with one thought. It comes from Lou Holtz, the former American football coach, who once said, "Virtually nothing is impossible in this world if you just put your mind to it and maintain a positive attitude." I hope that is something you will all keep in mind. Congratulations and the very best of luck to the class of 2018. As Sam said, my parting advice to you all is just go for it. Chair, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, friends and family members, thank you very much for this honour.